That time, huh? Every week, sir. Every week at this time. I don't know. The older I get, the faster it comes. That's a daily. Rough. I got the subcontractor that I work in. What do you want to do? I don't know what he's gonna do. He's due back Monday, so sweating bullets. Well, Lewis is still not. Yeah, good job. Good job. Every time I text him, not this week, not this week. I texted him with John. Okay. Here's what it is. This is that. This is that right over here.
Can you announce that whoever took a pee-pee on the west side and a poopy, we have them on camera and they're not allowed back?
Oh, really? Okay.
Who does that? That's gross,
don't
wrong.
Not a restroom back there.
All right, hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome here to Keystone Coin, our weekly Thursday evening auction. My name is Ron. If you have any issues here, let me know. We'll get you back on track, all right? Do keep in mind, everything we auction is sold on lien sale paperwork, unless we carry otherwise, in which case it would be a title to it, or perhaps a salvage title. And of course, the commitment keys, we don't charge for those, so if you have to make a key, in order to start a vehicle, I will tell you what that feature is by the creating process. It should also be printed out there on your list as well, because that will be added on to the purchase price, okay? The only other add-on that we do here is we do add on a platform fee, and we add on a 10% parking tax that goes back to the city of LA. All right. Hey, heads up, guys. We're civilized folks around here. We have a restroom over here, and you're welcome to use it. Okay, somebody used our lot out there for a restroom, and you're on camera. That's a no-no. Okay, we don't do that here. Yeah, we don't do that here.
Who does he work for? Yes.
Okay. Just a heads up, okay?
Here.
It's unsanitary and it's not cool, all right? Okay. Where was I? 4 minutes, so we can get a look at me. Okay, fine. He's hiding down there now. Okay. 10-day holds. Do we have any 10-day holds? We have any 10-day holds today? Right. Very good. So that means everything's going to go out the door, okay? So be aware of that. As far as payment goes, we need you to stand up on your chair. You're outside here. You will come up and complete your transaction with the lender here. We will take your cash. We'll take MasterCard's Visa debit cards, as long as those cards are going to be the registered bidder. All right? That's the way that works. And we'll be open here about 1 hour after the auction is concluded. But don't panic if you can't get your car out tonight. Why? You come back tomorrow between the hours of 8 and 12 noon, 8 and 12 noon, we'll release vehicles. Okay? Online people, welcome one and all. We will keep your payments starting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you have until 12 noon as well to get your cars out, right? All right, I think I covered the do's and don'ts, so let's get it on. All right, here's number one. Here comes the 2022, the Honda. On 10 line, what you see is what you get, 200 to a quarter. About 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 25, you're gonna get your 25 on the solar, right? For $200 online. Here's number two, yeah. Gee, I really don't know. Let's see, we got there, hey, we'll get $500. Well, how about $200? How about $200? Well, you're gonna get 200, 2 and a quarter. How about 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, no, sometime online, $200, 2 for free. Here comes a 2015 Yamaha, 271. And let's see here, same sort of deal. I've got 2 and a quarter. How about 2 and a quarter half, 75, this is 75, 2 and a half, 275, 300 and a quarter and a half. I got a half, 15, gotta go 50, 50, 350, you're 3 and a half, that's 75. How about 375 online, 4. How about 4 and a quarter? In a quarter, he's in a quarter. How about 4 and a quarter? 25, we have silver tank. For $400, and he's gonna come right up, right here. Cooper restaurant, guys, should have made the train, say 800. How about 3, 3 and a half, 4, 75, 4, not quarter, not half. Number half is 75. And 5, and of course, and a half. And 75, 6, 7, 4, 75, 7. How about 7? You 7 on the knee. How about 7? Are you good? 7? And a quarter? And a quarter. I got 7 right here, quarter on line. Now a half, 7, and now 75. How much I do? How about 775? Eat. You want to go eat now? Quarter. And a quarter. 8 on say, guys. 825 on the line. And a half. 8 and a half. 850. 850. 875. You got a half? I got a half right here. 875, 75, 875, and I'm on the side. Okay, on the side. For 850, 850. He's got a number there. 313, right? This is like that. W3. Quarter on automatic, straighten around here. What do you say here? He got a 9. I got 3, 3 and a half, 4, $400, 75, not quarter. Half quarter, 50, and 50 over here, now 75, not 500, not quarter, not half. And now 75, and now 6, and now a quarter, and a half, 75, 7, and a quarter, and 75. Now we, a quarter, now half, 8 and a half, 875, he's 8 and a half on site. 875, okay, now 9 and a quarter, 25, 9 split. A quarter, now 10, and a half, 950, 950, 9 and a quarter, 950, now 75. But 75, now 1,000, and 1,000. And 1,000, 975, take 1,000. And 1,000 to go, we sold it. 1,000, not quarter. A quarter, 10, 10 and a quarter. You guys don't get like old ladies, just click your mouse and let's get on. But 10 and a quarter here, we sold it. 1,000 even online. Here's your percent. Old lady, and here we go. Here comes the 2060 BW2. Straight to the bottom, we go down the top. I got down to go here, $500, 5, 6, 600 here, 7, 7 here, 8 here, 9. We're gonna go 9 now, 1,000. Have a 1,000 to go. He's in there now, 1,000 there, 11, 11, guess all. 11, not 12. He's on there on the side, 11 and a half, he says, 12. How about 12? 12 and a half. How about 12 and a half? 12, it's inside, 12 and a half. That quarter, 12 and a half. 12 and a half, 75. How about 75? He's 12 and a half here. 75, 13, a quarter, and a half, return. I got a half, is that a yes? 13, 50, 13, a quarter, 13 and a half. 75, 14, a quarter, quarter, and a half. I got a half, that's 75. How about 75? Minus 14 and a half. 14, 75, 75, 15, 15 and a quarter. And a quarter. I got 15 in there. You got that? Okay. I got 15 on side. There you go. All right, have a little brief one here. I 15 and a half. So, kind of 1,500, 1,500. No. That's the shoes you who's got a number there? Oh, number. Two for you. All right, number 7. Here comes that one. You said, see when you get your hand up, okay, we want to sell it to you, right? You gotta help us out. Here's a photo of an extra running on the over car, huh? How about down to go where? 5, 9, 9.5 there high. 9.5, 11. How about 11, 75, 11 and a half on that 12 and a half. 18 and a half and 13. 13, okay, and a half. And 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 18 and a half, and 19 and a half, and 2, 2 there, and a half, 2 times 50 over here, 21, 21, and a half, and 2 and a half, 22 and a half, 3 and a half, and 4, 24, 24, maybe 23 and a half. How about 24? You're going to get 2,400 dollars. You're going to get 4, now half, now 5, now half. And a half, and 6, and a half, and 7, and a half, and 8, 28. How about 28, 28, 27, 8 down here, 8 and a half, on the line, now 9. How about 29? Way to the back, now half. 8 and a half, I got 29 on the side. I got half, here, 3 grand. And 3, you're going to get 3 grand, 3 grand, 1, I got 3 on line, 31. 1, 2, 32, 33, 34. How about 34? You're going to go forward, you're 33, 34, 34, 35, 35, 36. 36, yeah, I do. I got 35 on that row. How about 36 and $1? How about 36 and $1? It's just going to be here and I still go to that row. That's 35. You got 36? Okay, fine. 37. 37? 38? 38, you have internet stuck in. I got 37 here on the site. 38? 38. Come on, I told you, don't go back on the lead. Nope, so on site. At 3,700, 3,700. Uh, 161. In 35 model here goes on $80 key charge guys on this one, right? $2 on that, check it out, who would have found it? I got down to where $5. You know 5? I got 5, 6. How about 6? 6 and a half and 7 and a half and now 800, now half, now 9. Now by 9, now half, now half, now half, now 1,000, now half. And I have really, see what I'm saying. How about 11? I got 10 and a half of that. 11. Now, how? I got 11 over here, quarter, now half, 75. 75, yeah, well, and a quarter. I got 12 and a quarter here. 12 and a quarter? How about 12 and a quarter? 12 is over here, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, over here, here we have quarter, half. 75, 13, and a quarter, up here at 13. How about 13 quarter, guys, roll off. How about 13 quarter down here, we have a quarter now, a half, and a half, 75. How about 75, guys, I already won, you don't good looking on me. 13, 75, minus 1,300 over here, 75 here, 14, 14, why not? I got 14 and a quarter and a half and 75. I got 75, give me 14, 75. How about 14, 75, 15, 15, first bid, 14, 75, 15, 15, and a quarter, that's the coach first, 15 and a quarter. Give me half of 15 and a half, 15 and a half, 16, gonna be 16, gonna be 16. How about 1600, gonna go 16, and now half. How about half, 16 and a half. How about half, come on, coach, you can, 16 and a half. Nope, so, take first, 1600, online, huh? Here's number 9, here comes, this one nice, guys, order on automatic, so hey, here we go, somebody give me a pound sign, let's get this up. How much down to go, 5 to go, you gotta go 5, right here, in there, 6, 6, 7, now 8, now 9, and 9, now half, now 9, gonna go 9, 9, you're a half, and a thousand, and a half, and 11, and a half, and 12, and a half, and a half, you're a half, 13, 13, and 14, and a half, and 15, and a half, Give me half, 15 half, 16, gonna be 16. Are you guys good? You guys together? I got 15 half over there. 16, gonna be 16, now half, on now 17. 16 and a half, 17, now half. How about half? I got 17 over there, pretty sure. 17 and a half. I got half, online, 18. You guys both off. I got 18, now half. And a half is 18. 18, how about 15? Gonna go 50 right here. 19, 19, now half. And two grand, and a half, 20, 50, gonna go 50, 50, gonna go 50, gonna go 100, and a half. How about 21 and a half? You know, 21 and a half, 21 here, 21, 50, gonna go 50, 50, that's 50, not 50, 22, not 50. Not 50, gonna go 50, 50, 22, 50, what's your dad say? 22 and a half? He says no. 22 and a half, and we have solar tech. We're at 22, 22, 100. Let's see. He's got number, is that 18 or 81? Okay, thank you. 81, 5, number 10. Here comes an all. I get to run skies, quarter, 100, 75, 150 dollars each hour, super time time. I got down to go here, 5, 6, 6, 7. How about 7, now 8. I got to eat half, now 8. And a half, 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 and a half. 11, 11, 11, he's 10 and a half, 11 here, 11 and a half, 12, 10 and a half, 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 13, 15, 14, 14 and a half, and a half, and 14 and a half, quarter. I'm a quarter and a quarter and a quarter down here, we have silver tank, 1400, number 8, 5. I just remember that. Just to get 50 now. Right, it comes I hear some. I'm a pound to go to Alexis car, $1,000, 1,050. And a 50, we go 50, 50, 1,050, right here, 11, 11, 50. And 1, 15, 15, 13, gonna go 13, not 50. And 15, gonna go 50, 50, 13 is mine, got a half, 14, 14, now half. Now got a half, 14 and a half, 14 here, a half here, 15, now half, 16. 16, return. 16, now half. How about half? 16 over here. 16 and a half on line. 17, 17. Guys, you're so good at like only 17, 18 and a half, 19, 19 and a half, 19 and a half. You gotta stand up, just like real men. 2 grand, now half, now 1. That's 21, now half. 21 and a half, 21 some money. 21 and a half, 2. 22, now half. How about half? Now 3, you gotta go 3, 3, that by yourself. I got 22 and a half on side. 23, now half. How about half? 23, 50, now 4, hit 4, you want 4? Now half, on side again, 24, 4 and a half on line, 25, 25, now half. How about 25 and a half? 25 and a half, 6, now half, and 7, and 7 and a half. How about half? He's 27, 27 and a half. Got half, with the pink first, 28. 28. How about 28? 28. Pink first is 8 guys. 27 and 28. So for the pink first. 27, 50 online, right? There we go. Down to 23. Good. Sorry, number 10 was. I'm on the Chevy Sonic, guys. Oh, you lost.
Sorry.
That's okay. $80 key charge, you guys. All right, here we go. Somebody give me time or something. How about time to go where? $5 bucks. 5, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 6. How about 6? Nice economy car, 600. 6. And how about half? How about half? 6 on 9, 6 and a half. Now 7. How about 7? They're going to give me 7 right here. Now half. I got 7 here, 7 and a half. 75, 8, now a quarter. And a quarter, 8's the bid, 8 and a quarter. Quarter now half. We got about 50, 8 only from the side. 8 and a half on line, 75. How about 75? 875, 9. How about 9? Get it on 9. 875, that 9 and a quarter, 825. 925 and a half, 950 each, 9 and a quarter here. How about 9 and a half? Hey, here we go. How about 9 and a half? 950, 75 pounds. Now roll off. How about pound of gold? 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 to go, 1,000 to go. We sold them online. 475. Number 13, 12. guys. Eight rounds, 80. I'm sorry, we got about 900. About 9 got about 7 He said 4.5 hundred. He's fine, 4.5. Up there, the half, 70, about 600. How about 6? Now a quarter, now a half, 75, now 7, now a quarter. And a half, 7, and 75. They need 800 and a quarter, 225, but a half, and 75, and 75, 9. I get 9, ready with 9 now, a quarter, and a half, now 75, now a thousand, and a thousand. Online, now a quarter, and a quarter and a half, that's a 50, 75, 11, and a quarter and a half, and 75, 11, 75. How about 75, over 75, maybe 11 and a half, I get 12, it's even better, 12 and a quarter. Quarter and a half, now it's 12 and a half, we're outside, 12 and a quarter. A half, 75, 13.
13.
13 online, not quarter. A quarter, half, 75. 75, 14, and a quarter, and a half, and a half, 75, 15, and a half, and 16, and a half. How about half? 15, 50, 17, little bit 17, and a half, and a half, 17, and a half, 18, and a half, 18, 50, and a 50, and now 19. How about 19? How about 19? You're gonna go 19, you're gonna go 19, everybody else, 19, and now sort of outside. Yeah, 1850, 1850, you showed on number 91, 91 in the line, right? Hey, here we go. All right, guys, it goes on, quarter how to manage, and they're on it, so it's time, what do we see here? Who put pounds out? I got pounds in 11, I got 15, 16, 16, 17,
18.
18, 19, 2 grand, 21, 21, 2, 22, half, 2. How about 2? Minus 21 and a half, I'll take 2. 22 and a half, and 2 and a half, and 4 and a half, and 5 and a half, and 6 and a half, and 7 and a half, and 8 and a half, and 9, and 9 and a half, 3 grand. 30 grand, 31, 31, 32, 33, 33, 34, 35. And 6, now 6, now 7, now 8, 8, now 9, 39, 39, 38, 39. How about 39 to 9, 39 to 9, yes, sir. And we sold right here. 3,800 online, all right, that works. Right here we got number 15, here comes the 27. All right, $4, on a minute, how about we got okay, fine. How about 4? You said 3, 3.5, 4, 75, 4. And a quarter, and a half. And 75, 5. How about 5? Now quarter, and a half, 75, and 6. How about 6? Now a quarter, half, 75, 75. And 7, and a quarter, and a quarter, half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 7 and a half. And 9, gonna go 9, 8, 75 here. 9, now side, now quarter. And a quarter, one is on side, 9, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half, 75. How about 75? You're gonna go 75, and now 1,000, and a quarter. How about quarter here, the quarter, and now a half, and a half, and 75. How about 75? You're gonna go down 75, 10 and a half to bid. How about 10, 75, now 11, 11 here, you need a quarter. How about 11 and a quarter, 11 here. How about 11 and a quarter? The 11 and a quarter, okay, 75. How about 75, 11 and a half on that. 11, 75. And we sold them all night. For 11.50, I think that works. Here. Here's number 16, here's another 3 on the four. On the minute, they give you about 600. How about 2 and a quarter? How about 2 and a quarter? Let's scratch right here. 2 and a half, 75, 30 and a quarter. How about quarter, 3 and a quarter, 300, 3 and a quarter. How much 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter? So that's 300, 17, tell me that. Hey, got a decent head truck, guys. For We'll be touching down check. I got down to go, it's a nice truck. I got 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, and 7. And 7, we're gonna go 7 and a half, and 8 and a half. You should be, I got these right here. 8 and a half, 9. 9 and a half. You got me? 9 and a half, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half, 75. How about 75, now 1,000? And 1,000, 9, 75,000. Here, you need a quarter. That's what it's right there. 10, 10 and a quarter half. How about half? Now 75. And now 11. How about 11? You want to go 11? How about 11? The 11 and a quarter, that was 25 and a half right here, now 75. Here's 11 and a half right here. 11, 75 on line. 12. How about 12? We're going to get 12. 12. So yes, okay, on line, quarter here, half. 12 and a half, quarter here, and a half, now 75. How about 75? Gonna go till 75? 75, 13. How about 13 and a quarter? That's a video, I believe. 13 and a quarter. 13 and a quarter, then we a quarter half. See, I told you, 13 and a half here, 75 here, 14. 14. We got the on site, guys, pretty high for these. 14, we're gonna get 14 right here, about quarter, now half. We need that 14 and a half, and 75, 15 and a half, and 16, 16, 15 and a half here. Don't look at the phone, look at me. 16, 16, 16, now half, now 17, and 17. He came back over here, 16 and a half, 17, see what I mean? How about 17, we're gonna go 17, and and a half, 18. 18, what is online? 17 and a half, 18. You guys are all off. Now about 18, nope, it's only one line. For 17, 50, right? That works. If you go to 18, it comes around 7. I'm out here, guys. For going on, and then you can say, hey, if you want to go down, I found it over here. He said, three and a quarter, 3 and a half. I got a half. 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 475, 5. How about 5 and a half? So 5 and a quarter is a half. 75 and 6 and a quarter and a half, 75. And 7 and a quarter and a quarter and a half, 7 and a half, you know what? And 7 and a half, 7 and a quarter. How about 750 right here, 75. Now we, now quarter. Outside of 8, 8 and a quarter. How about an 825? We're going to go 825, 825. Come on, first your turn. Now half, 8 and a half, 875. 875. 875. Gonna go in there, yes, sir. 875, 875, and now 9. 2 pushes back. 875, 9. How about 9? How about 9? We're doing 9 to 9, 9 10. We're going to go 9 so we're going to do first. 875 on 9. Okay? All right, here's 19. Here comes 87. Okay. Now here's going to get 5. 5 of the bucks. That's 2. And 2 of the quarter. How about 2 of the quarter? That's a nice one. How about 2 of the quarter? Good, give him a thing. 2 of the quarter, agree, sold it. Yeah, 200, number 6 to the fire. Okay, fine. Here comes another. I'm going to call a car. Hold on, here, guys. How about 800 bucks? 400 bucks. He said 2 again, 2 of the quarter. How about 2 of the quarter? Now half. I got a half, 250 ounce. I get 2 of the quarter. Got a half here. 175 and 3. I got 3. 3 now quarter, quarter now half. How about half? Onside and half. Now 75 and 4. And 4 and a quarter. And a quarter on line of 4, 4 and a quarter. How about 40 and a quarter? And a quarter here. We sold it. 400 is 6 to fire. And here we got number 1. Here comes a little stuff. That's it. I guess. Janice, hold on. I didn't any. Here we go. Somebody got about 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. I got 4 and a half, 5. I got 5 right there on site. Now half. I got half. Now 6 and a half. How about half? 7 and a half. And 8 and a half. And 9. 9. You want 9? Now half. How about half? I got half on 9. Now 75. 1,000 and a quarter. Now half. And 75. And now 11 and a half. 11 and a half, 11 and a half, half, and 12 and a half, and 13 and a half, and 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16. How about 16 and a half, now 17. How about 17? We're going to go 17, 16 and a half here, 17 there, now half, and a half. I got 17 in the middle. 17, 15, gotta go 50, 50, 17, how about 50 and 9? Sort of thing. For 1700, 1700. And just got under there on the side here. So what you see, I need to see there you go. Number 32, 30. That's hard. Here, I'll leave my. Now, how about Lexus, GS250 this time. This order automatic shall be titled once again, and open about 800. He said $800, 8.5. How about 850? He said that 8.5. Give me a quarter. I get you at 8.25. Gonna go 8.25, 8.25, and quarter, half. That's 75. That's 75. You see, you have over here. 8.75. Gotta go 75. 275. 75. 909. A quarter. And a quarter. Now it's over here. How about 9 and a quarter? How about 9 and a quarter? And a quarter here. Quarter now. Half. Now 75. How about 75? How about 75? Yeah, Coach Church, your turn. 975. Now 1,000. And 1,000. And 1,000. 975. Coach versus in. 975. How about 1,000? Then we sold the tank. 975 online. Here we go. There's a 95. Maybe you got a sold. Those two, that's you know. All right, $2 automatic. $30. How about $800? $400. You want four? He said 3, 4, 4.5, 5. How about 5? That's 4.5, 5. 75, 5. That's 4.5. How about 100? You're gonna go 5.5. You got it. How about 550? You're gonna go 50, 50, 50, 50 down. Silver code, 5.25. All right, yes, sir. All right, here we go. Here's number 24. Three. All right, next. $4. And let's see here. I've got about 3.5, 4.5, and 5. How about 5? 5.5 right here, 6. How about 6.5 and 7? How about 7? 6.5 aside. 7.5, and 8.5, and 9, and 9, and a half. Nine's over here, 9.5, and now 1,000, and now a half, and now 11, and a half. Here, 11.5, 11's inside, 11.5. 11.5 quarter. I'm 11 quarter, the quarter here we have silver tank. For 1100, and we got number 88. 88 is the water.
Hold on 1 second.
He's gonna come right up, okay?
You got him at 11.
I do.
What was his number?
88. I'm good. We'll go back to computer product. Okay. Ooh, my arm yesterday, man, my nose just keeps running. Great. All right, we're on 25 now, right? Here we go, guys. Hey, easy in, easy out, okay? 2025.
Yeah.
BW Jetta. All right. Yeah. Put the doors back on. I think Glenn will probably buy this. So you're giving you 1,000.
1,000.
11. How about 11 and a half? Now 11. 75. 11. How about 11? Not quarter. How about 11 and a quarter? Now, 11.50. You want to go 50, 50, 11.50. What do you say? 11 a quarter, 11 and a half. How about 11.50? No, somewhere. Okay. 11.25. Online. Here we go. Number 26. 81. El Camino. Right? Sugar around here, so that's nice. Top 11, top 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17 and a half, 18 and a half, and 19 and a half, and 2 and a half, and 1 and a half, and 2 and a half, and a half, and 3, we're gonna go 3, 23, can't see it. 23, now half, now 4, now half. And a half, and 5, now I got a half, now 5, let's say, now half. Let's do it, so I got 26, 26, now half.
You're at 26.
Yeah, here, 26 outside. How about 26, how about 15, gotta go 50, 50, the 50, the 50, down here, now 7, and 7, 27, 27, what do we say, 26 and a half. How about 27, and then we sold it, one line. Here, 26, 50, all right, next one, number 27. There's a little 4, second couple, here's a, not again, straight around, and a fountain back. Oh, 4 numbers. I guess the trick of that is don't want the grass, huh?
Sure don't mow the grass before you got it all off.
I'm telling you. Hey, here we go. Let's all guy. How about Thomas? You said 5, 6, 6.5, 6.25, 6.5. How about 6.5? 75, 7. How about 7 and a quarter, 7.25, 7.25, right here, half. How about half up front, 7.25, 7.5. How about half, 7.50, okay, 75, 800, not quarter. And a quarter, quarter and a half, 8.5, 75, 75, 75, 9. How about 9, 875. You guys hold together? Are you guys together or not? Okay, 875, that's 9, a quarter, now half, 9.5. How about 915, that's 75. And 75, you got a half, right? 975. Now 1,000, and 1,000, and a quarter, and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 see online, 10 and a quarter. How about a quarter, half, 75. Now about 75. How about 75? Now what? How about 11? Yes, sir, I do right here. 10, 75, right here. How about 11? 11 here. What do you say? 11, a quarter. A quarter, your turn. 11 a quarter, 11 and a half. How about a half? 11 a quarter, is up front. 11.50. Down at 15. Come on, people, you're up. How about 11.50? Well, 50, 50 degrees holding on site. That is 11 and a quarter. Then we go to the 41, 41 is the bias. Okay, there's a key here. Right, that's forward on, automatic, what do you say here? Who got a thousand? Oh my goodness, how about $5? He said 3, 3, 4, 3 and a half, and 75. How about 75, 4, 400, and 4, and 4, what percentage? 4, and 4. On side at 4, 4 and a quarter. How about 4 and a quarter, and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, okay, that's 75. How about 75, you're gonna go 75, 475. 5 and a quarter. And a quarter, here you're outside, right here at 5, 5 and a quarter. A quarter and a half, that's 75, that's 75, 6. How about 6, yes sir, 6 outside, and a quarter, 6 in here. How about 6 and a quarter, or a quarter, and a half. I do, and a half, outside, quarter, half on line, now 75, I can't see it, now 7. Now, let's 7, now let's 7, come on, you should go. How about 7 and a quarter, 7, 7 here, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter and a quarter here? We have somewhere time. 700 and number 6 is higher. There we go. It's under 28. That's true. Okay, here we have. Next, we just sold 28 years of 03, minus MPV, guys. All right, 4 of minutes, figure it out. What do you say? 5? I got 3, 3 and a half, 4. How about 75? 75. 75, 4, and a quarter. And a quarter, I have 4. How about 4 and a quarter? Is that a yes or no? Quarter? 75. And now 75, now 5. How about 5? It's 475, take 5. 5, now quarter, now half. How about half? Each time a quarter, 5 and a half. I got a half, that's 75, now 6. How about 6? You're going to be 600. How about 6 and a half? Outside of 575, take 6. How about 6 and a half? 600 and minus 7. 575, higher than 8. Here comes another 7 to shades into medium. How about count a bunch of the bands? How about time to go? Time to go. I got $500. He said 3, 3 and a half and a 4. I got 4, 75. How about 3, 75, 4. How about 4, 4 and a quarter, 25. Get it, 25. Down a half. Down a half, each one a quarter, down a half, let's say 5, and a quarter, outside of 5, down a quarter. One quarter, okay, and a half. And a half, 8, you can. I got half, now 75, now 6. How about 6? Then very top. How about 6? You already 6. You 6. How about 600 and a quarter, 6 and a half. And a half. How about 6 and a half? How about a half? On site, 75. I got 6 and a half over here. 675. On my picture up. How about 675? 675, and I'm sorry, one site. For 6 and a half, right, number 8, right? We got number 31, which is 15. Right? For another minute, they gave me how much time? I got 3 and a half. I got 3 and a half. And 4 and a half. Half and five, gonna go five, gonna go five, half, six, seven and a half, and seven outside, no half, seven's over here, seven and a half, okay, and eat, and a half, and a half, nine, how about 75, nine, 100, not quarter, how about quarter, nine and a half, 75, 975, the quarter, a quarter, no half, 75, how about 75, we got the first to go. How about 75, now 1100, not quarter, 11 and a half. How about 11 and a half, 11 and a half. How about 1150, now 75, 12, 1200, 12. How about 12, we're gonna go 1200?
I got 1175 on.
Yes, sir. Sold online for 1175, okay. Thank you, Chandra, for the here comes the 2000. What do you do here? Do you know? You said three and a quarter. I got three and a quarter. How about three and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, down here, give me three and a quarter, you're up. A quarter, now higher, 350, it's your turn. How about 350, 50, 350, 50, and we sold the tank, 325, and the six is higher, here's your one. Here's 33, five. Next B model, guys, whether by the minutes, they're going to come, or leave a five. Five, you said two, not the two and a quarter. You want a quarter? How about two and a half, I'll tell you, in the quarter, and a half, 75, four. Five, quarter, and a half, 75. 75, five online, quarter, half, five and a half, so yes?
Six?
No, I got six, six and a quarter, six and a quarter, six and a half, five and a half, six and a quarter and a half online, 75, seven. How about seven? You're gonna go seven, here, give me seven. How about seven, six, 75 is online, seven on site, a quarter, and a quarter, seven and a quarter, down a half, seven and a half, return. A half, was 75. How about 75? I have seven and a half here. How about 775? Will be sold. 75, eight. How about eight? Not quarter. 825. No, it's not good like all these. 825. How about 825 and a half? 850. Hey, out of the 50, 50, we have the 50 and we have sold attack. 825 online. 825 online. 34, 87. Anyway, that's school. He says, three, yeah. I get another, hey, get the number. We get a quarter, here, we take a quarter, three, quarter down, 75. How about 75? You said, yeah. 375, and four, down quarter. I got four. Four and a quarter, down a quarter, and a half. 75, 475, four and a half. How about 475? We're gonna go 475, 75, sold. That's 450, number six is higher. It's a week. On the PW Beetle guys, right? You don't have that, these are gonna be collector cars. Nine to go, five to go. How about 500 bucks? Yeah, I know. How about three and a quarter? How about three and a quarter, half? I get a half, he's a quarter here on site. How about 350? Okay, you say, you come with a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, you know, four and a half, 75. How about 475, four and a half, 475, 75, five. How about five? He's 475, five. How about five and a quarter, no half, five and a half, 75. How about 75, five and a half here. How about 575? There goes 75, and we have solar tank. It's already gone. Hold the close right there. At 550, 550. What about number? And supplier. Here's number 30. Yeah. Where is that? Let's see here. Check that out. Alrighty, fine. I got two and a quarter. How about two and a quarter, three and a quarter? How about three and a quarter, one? How about three and a quarter, half, 350? How about 50? Make a good one, acre. I got 350, 50, gonna go 50 here, we sold a tank. For 325, number six is 37. All right. Here's a 2,000, okay, this is one, use it. Okay, let's compare. Let's see. Are you starting over the pounds? How about five? I got 500 bucks. I got three and a quarter, three and a half, 75. How about 375? That is three and a half a line. How about 375, 375, 375, and we sold. At 360, number 6 to 5. 30, okay, 2 miles. No, no, not anymore, son. And, here, for the how about $5? How about two? 2 1/4. Three. 3 1/4? No, I already got 3 1/4. 3 1/2. 75. 375. 3 1/2 on side. How about 375 4? 400. Not 4. How about 400? We're gonna go $400. 375 for something. 375. Number 6 is Samaya. Here's number 39. GC Samaya. Right for 100. How about she said how about 2 1/4 for the whole band? How about 2 1/4? How about 250? You're gonna go 50, 50, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 275. How about 75? He's 2 1/2. We're up 2 1/2. 275? Okay, 3 1/4. 3 1/2. Then 75. Then 4. How about 4? 4, now 4, now 1/2, 4 1/2. 450 online, 475. 475, 500. How about 5? 5? 500. How about 5? Not quarter. I got 5. I got 5 on site, yes, sir. How about 5 1/4? Okay, now, half, 5 1/2. How about 5 1/2? 550. Gotta go 50, 50, 550, 550, and I still say 5 1/4, number 6. Now you use number 40. Wow, it's really happening. Got the third one, second one right here. How about 4,000? Right, you said 7. Eat. I got 7. Eat. How about these? Give me half. 7 1/2. Quarter. Half. And I got a half. 75. Eat. Not quarter. Not quarter. See, you get there. You 25 1/2. It's 75. It's 75. Be 9. Not quarter. And a quarter. 9's a bit. How about 9 1/4? Not quarter. Not quarter here. We have at 900. You got a quarter? Okay, and a half. And a half to you will be 75. Okay, first. Okay, 975,000. How about 1,000? How about 1,000 gold? 1,000. That's it. 1025 and a half. How about a half? You got to believe it like a real man. A half. 75. How about 75? 11. Not quarter. I have 11 here. 11 1/4. How about 11 1/4? 11 1/4. Yes, sir. 11 1/4 and a half. 11.50. Quick first came back. 11 1/4. 11 1/2. How about 11.50? I'm gonna go 50, 50, and we sold it for the quick first. 11.25. 11.25. 11.25. Okay. Here's number 41. Here comes the 42. What do you say? Hey, you're giving me money 100. I got 3. 3 1/4. How about 3 1/4? Now half. How about half? 50, 75, 40, not quarter, not half. And a half, 50, again, 75, gonna go 75, 5, and a quarter, and a half. And a half, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 75, and a 6. How about 6? 6? I got 575, 6, huh? Thank you. I do. I have water, but that's good. I'll take more.
I have 575
Online, 6. 6, not quarter, outside at 6. How about 6 1/4, 6 1/4, and a quarter, and a quarter, here we have. Quarter half. 75, and 7, no quarter, and a half, 75. 775, 800, sir. 8? You wanna go read? I have 775 outside, 800. 8, you got 8?
You have 7.
I do. 8, not quarter. I got 8 inside. Quarter and a half. And a half. You see the quarter. 8 and a half. 8 and a half. 375. 9. How about 9? You're gonna go 9. Hey, no things in option. How about 900? You're gonna go down. You're gonna go down. You're gonna go down here. We're gonna go 9. Not quarter. And a half. How about half? You still a quarter. And a half. Your turn. 9 and a half. How about a half? Don't look at your phone. Just watch me. 9 and a half. 975. 1,000. And 1,000. Oh, come on now. Give me 1,000. Oh, yes, it is. And if I'm going to go summertime, 975, number 4. 975, number 4. All right, here we got number 42. Here's a 97. It's a Dodge Ram, that one, guys. On the bench, what do you do? I've got 2 1/4. How about 2 1/4, 2 1/2? I got three and a quarter, 3.5, 75, and four, and a quarter, 4.5, 4.5, and 475, 500.
Five.
Five on line, now quarter, a quarter and a half. How about half? Each 5 1/4, 5.5. 5 gonna go 50, 50, 500, 50, 50, 50, each over the left row. 5.5 on line, okay, fine. 575, now six. How about six? I do. How about six? Hey, coach first, your turn. How about six? 600. How about six? And the six to the coach first. 6 1/4, 6.5. I do. 6.5, over here, 6.5. Come on, coach first, let's go. How about 6.5? How about 6.5? Yep. Solar tank. 625, 6. Right there. That's the number there. You got number 43, 99. BMW Z3, all right. How about down the road? He's 105. I've got three. 3 1/4. 3.5. No, 75. 3.5. 30, 75. 375. 400. And a quarter. 444. Quarter. And a half. How about half? 1 1/4 here. 1.5 here. 475. No, 5. How about 5? 500. No, 5. No, quarter. And a quarter. 5 1/4. Now half. 2.5. 75. And 6. How about 6? 575 right there. 6. There, you want 6? 6 and a quarter. I got 6, I do. 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, here, we have quarter, half, half, 75. I don't know, you guys did like over, goes in the mic. 6.5 on site, over here. 675. Sold the tank. There's 6.5, 6.5. So, si encuentra dos, tres. Si encuentra tres. All right, here we go, number 44, 2000, 300. And then, how to manage, straight up right. Stop straight over here, then what are you gonna do here? You shall be followed, 600. How about they have bucks, 400 bucks? You know, 4? How about 4? We got 3. So you're gonna have 4, 4, 4, no, 7. At 350, number 6. 45 to 20 minutes in the county. Quarter here, you said, what's your sequence? How about day 50? How about day right here? How about day and a half? I got a half, that 9. What do you do, 9? Not half, not a half, not 1,000, not 1,000, and a half, and a half, 6, and 11, and a half, 11 and a half, 1, not 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 13, and a half, 10, 14, 14, and a half. 10, 15, go 15, 75 will work, 14 and a half, 14, 75. 15 and a half, got a half, 16 and a half, another half, 16 here, 16 and a half. How about 1650, gonna go 50, 50 on a half, 17, 17 on line, now half, and a half, 17 here, got a half. How about 18? 18, now half, got a half, 18 to back row. 18, 50, 19, how about 19? We're gonna go 19, now half, that's 2 grand. How about 2? We're gonna get 2,000. How about 2,000 go? We're gonna get 2,000 go. Now half, only 50, right here, now 1. I got 40, 50 outside, 21. 21. How about, I don't know what you're thinking about. 21, you're up. 21, now half, now half, now you move up. How about 21 and a half, 21, 15, gonna go 50, 50, 71 line. We're at 21, we're at 2100. All right, here's number 46, here comes another 1. Also established, and here we go, and you got 600. How about 6 bucks, 2 said 2, 2 1/4, 3, 3 1/4. How about 3 1/4 half? And 75, 4, and a quarter, and 4, what do you say, 4 and a quarter, and a quarter, 4 is here, how about 4 1/4? How about 4 1/4, and a quarter right here, and a half, and 75, and 5, 500, and a quarter, 525, 5 is on the line, 5 1/4. How about 5 1/4, quarter, and a half? How about half, he's on site, 5 1/4. How about 550 on line, now 75, 75, 6. You want to be up next to 6, you want to be 6, 1/4, and a quarter, over here it's 6, 6 1/4, guys. How about 6 and 4? 625. Gonna go 625. And we have overtime for 600, $600 and 60, number 60, number 47. So you go here, that's not right. Right now, how about you're gonna go? No?
Eight?
Money, no? 3 grand? No? Thousand? 11. 11. I got 11 here, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2 grand, and 1, and 21. I got 2 grand in here. How about 21? You're gonna go 1, now 2, 22, 23, 24, and 5, 25, you're gonna go 5, 25, what do you say? 25, hey, look up here, 25, now 6, and 7, and 7, 27, now eat, now 9, how about 29, bitch, 28, 29. How about 29, we're gonna go 9, we're gonna go 9, we're gonna go 9, so on the bottom. Yeah, 2,800, 2,800, we can use that number right there, 6, here's 48. There's a 28. All right. On the next, we move right here, what do you say? I'll tell you what, it's me about 3 grand. I got 18, 19, 2 grand, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 grand, 31, 34, 35, 36, 36, 37, 37, 38, 8, 9. How about 9? 9, 10, 11, 41. How about I do? I'm 41. I'll say it for rent. 41, 42, 43, 44. How about 44? His big first. How about 44, 45, 46, 7. How about 7, 47, 48, 49. And 49, little 9, 2 first. Okay. I got 9, not 5, 5 grand, 51. And 51. I got 5 grand, 51. What about? How about 52, 53, 54, 54, 53, 54. And 5, there go 5. I almost got it. 55. Here, wake up, man. 55, 56. How about 56? 5600, 600, 5600, and we sold it. At $5,500 online. All right, here we go. That's a little 7 GW legal smile. All right, now time to go, time to go. 3.5. I got 3. 3.5. 74. That's 4.5. I got a half, 75. And 5. And a quarter, half. And 75, 6, and a quarter. How about quarter? How about 6 and a quarter? 600, 6 and a quarter, 1.5. And 75. We're gonna go 75, 7. How about 7 and a quarter? Be a quarter, 1.5, 7.5. I had 7 and a quarter, 7.5. 79. How about 75? 75. Who pushed first? Wake up. How about 75? We're gonna go 75. And 8. How about 8? Who first? Wake up. 8. Now quarter. I have 8. 8 to quarter. How about a quarter? 825. Better go 825. 800. How about a quarter? No. So at $800, $800. Here's an 87. Nice. All right. So, give an idea. So, going to give me how much? How about $5? Extra cash. Right? Yeah. How about 4 How about 4 and a half? 4.5. I got a half, 75. 75, 5. How about 5? You got to go 5, 5, so say, and a quarter. And a quarter and a half, 5.5. Which one? 5.5. That's 75. And 6 and a quarter. How about quarter? 6 over here. How about 6 and a quarter? Okay, you got a half, 6 and a half. How about a half? You move up. How about a half? That's 75. Could go 75, 6 and a half, 75, 7. How about 7? Yes, sir. 7, not quarter. Not a quarter. I'm 97. 7 a quarter. How about 7 a quarter? Okay, he's 675, 7. You want to go 7? No. So over here. For 675, 675. And number is on the other side. There we go. We got number 55 below. Right? Here we go number 51. Right, hey, 4, 9, 7, right here. We got 9. How about 90 bucks? 90 bucks. You want five? I got 375 for a quarter. And a quarter and a half. 4.5. I got 50. Gonna go 50, 50, 54 to quarter. 4.5. 75 five. 500 and a quarter. How about 100? Nice money. 5 and a quarter. How about a quarter? No half. Did we have 5.5? What did I say? 75. How about 75? Gonna go for 75. Now about 75. Now about 75. Sold on right here. 50 online, right? Got it. Here we go. Next one. Here. There's an officer. I'll start. How about house? What? You got five? I got $500. You said three. Three and a quarter. I got three. Three and a quarter. How about three and a quarter? Go high. That's 75. That's four and a quarter. And a quarter. Now high. For 50. That's 75. That's five and a quarter. And a half. Five and a half. Five and a half. Five and a quarter is on side. Five and a half in here. Minus 75. That's six. How about six? 600. How about six? Hey, it's your turn. Pick up. How about 600? You're going to go 600, 600. So about side. For 575, number 8 is the buyer. Right here we go. 3. 3 and 4 on, right and next, they go right here, and they 3 and a quarter half. I got 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. How about 75? What do you got 375? Not quarter, not quarter. And a quarter, not half. You need half, not half. That's 75. And 5, not quarter. And a quarter, on quarter, half. You want a half? 75. There's 6. How about 6? I got 600 here, need a quarter. And a quarter. I got 6 online. 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half. How about 650? Okay, now 75. How about 75? I'm going to go 675, 6 and a half. How about 675 on site? 7. How about 7? Yes, sir. 600 over here. I did 7. How about 7? How about 7? Okay, and a quarter. And a quarter. 7's up here, guys. How about 7 and a quarter? 7 and a quarter and a quarter here. We sort of tank. 700 online. Right here we go with number 54. Is it? Right, on that page to the right. How much? 8? How about they got bucks? 400 bucks. He said 3 and a quarter. I got 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. I got 3 and a half. I got 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. Got about? How about 350, 50, 50, 50, something? Thanks, already gone. So 3 and a quarter, number 16. I just number 55. Here we go. 3, total 3. All right, 4. Again. What's up?
Got 5.
I got 5. 5 and a half, 6. Now a half. How about a half of a 7? Now half, and now 8 and a half, and 9 and a half, and 1,000 and a half. How about 11 and a half, and 12 and a half. How about 12 and a half? Over here, 1 half of that. You got 13 and a half. And 14 and a half, 15 and a half. How about a half? 16 and a half. 18 and a half, 17 and a half. And a half. Now 18 and a half. 18 and a half, 19 and a half, 2 grand and a half. How about a half? And 1 and a half, and 2, 22, and a half. I get 3 and a half. Minus 23, 23 and a half, 24 and a half, and 5, 25 and a half, 25 and a half, and 6 and a half. How about a half? And 7. How about 7? We're on site. 26 and a half, 27, now half. And 8. How about 28? Now a half, 28 and a half, and a 9. How about 29? Half, 29 and a half, 3 grand. How about 3? Not 1, 31, 2. How about 2? There go 2, 3, 33, 34. How about 34, 35, 35 and about 36. How about 36? Have it here, 8 here, 38, 39. Is that everybody? 9, 39. Now 4. 4,000? I got 4 on mine. 41, 41 and 2. How about 42, 42, 43, 43 to the butter. And 3 minus 42, 3, 4. How about 4, 4, 5, 45, 44, 45, 46. How about 45? Interrupt. Come on, guys, let's go. 45, 46. I do. 45, 46, 6, 7. How about 7? You're going to go 7? How about 47? You're going to go 7. You're going to go 7 here. And I sold it. Put it online. At 4,600, 4,600. Number 56. There's an all 3. Well, Mustang car. Right. So, automatic. What do you say to this? 8, 4. half. I got 4.5. Give me 4. You got 4.25. What you say now? That's 75. How about 75? 25. I got to do that quarter. And a quarter, each 5. How about 5 a quarter? How about 5 a quarter right here? Now 75. How about 75? I'm going to go by 75. 600. How about 6? 1/4. On the side of 6. 6 1/4. How about 4? 1/4. Come on, first. Let's go. 6 1/4. How about 6 1/4? Quarter here and I swing on site. For 600. Number 8. Here. Number 57. There's a 5. 400 minutes. You're going to run $1,000. And 6. And a half, and 8, and a half, and 9. How about 9 and a half? 9.5, 1,000, 1,000 and a half, and a half, quarter, half, 75 left. How about 11 and a quarter? That's quarter half. Now about 11 and a half, 11 and a quarter. Here's 11 and a half. Okay, 75 pounds. How about 12? 1200 and a quarter, and a quarter. Online at 12, 12 and a quarter. You're up. 12 and a quarter. Use 12 here. Give me a quarter. How about 12 and a quarter? So we're online for a trial of $100. Now, there we go. We're trying to pick. We're at 58. There you go. All right, here we go. Here's a 99. All right, 500. And he'll get $500. $500. 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. I got 350, 50, 50, 75, we're going to 75. How about 75 quarter? Goes on site, now quarter. How about quarter? Half here, now 75. And 75 flies on site, now quarter. Now quarter, now half, now 75. How about 75? 5.5 over here. 75 here, now 6. How about 6? 5, 75, 6. How about 600? We're going to go 600, 6 here, and a quarter. I got 6 on site, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter? 6 and a quarter. Come on, guys, let's go. We're down the home stretch. How about 6 and a quarter? We have sold it on site for $600. And there's numbers 94, 95, 99. Here comes the NWX5. I got down to the goal. 7, 8. I got a half. Now 8 and a half and 9. But 9, we're going to go 9, 8, 75, 9. 900 and a quarter, now half. And now 75. How about 75? Now 1,000, 1,000, and a quarter. A quarter, half. And now 75, 11, and a quarter. A half, 75. 11, 75, 12, 12 and a quarter. How about 12 and a quarter? And a half, 75, 75, 12 and a half here. 12, 75, we're going to bid. 12, 75, 13, now a quarter. Okay, now 75, we're going to go 13, 75. 14, now a quarter, right here, need a half. Have a quarter. Half, 75, 15, you're going to be 15, now half. How about half? I got the half, 16, 16 and a half. 16 and a half, I got 16 and a half here, 17. How about 17, now half, your turn. 17 and a half, 18. How about 18? Here we go, 18. Now half, 18 and a half. 18 and a half, 19. How about 19? Here we go, 19. 1900, there about. How about 19? And I, 19, now half. 19 and a half here. That is, no 2. I got 2 grand on site. 19 and a half, 2 grand. Come on, take first, let's go. How about 2? You're going to get 2 grand? 2 grand. Now how? Now 1. 21, big first, you're done. 21. How about 21? 21, 21, get it out. 21, and I, half. Now 2. How about 2? 3 pushes on again. 22. Mm-hmm. 21 and a half. Yes, sir. 22. 22, now half. You spit like an old lady. 22 and a half, 23. 23. How about 23? Sold one side for 22, 50, 22. Let me see your right number. Quickly, hey. Let me see your right number. What's your right number? I don't care. It's not my phone. Okay. All right, Aaron, can you take him up to the window, see if I get him? Man, unbelievable. You guys should know better. Buy your numbers. So $500 penalty fee, right, man?
I'll add it. Ready to go?
I'm ready. All right, here we go, number 60. Here's another one. Howdy, TT model. All right, straight on menu turn, straight over line here. Who got about 1,000? I get 809, 8.5, quarter, half. We got a half. 850, that's 75. Gonna go 75, 900. How about 9? Gonna go $900, $900, a quarter. And a quarter, you said at 9. And a quarter, up. Yeah. How about 950? And a 50, he's taking.
Half.
And now 75, see, soon use. About 975, and a half, 975, 75, and we sold it. And 950 online, 950 online with fire, number 61. I use 61, so I'm going to afford it. Quarter automatic shift here. He said 3 quarter, half, 75, 4 and a quarter, hey, steps one up, 4 1/4, 4.5. How about 4.5, 75, about 5, and 5, 475 outside, 5. How about $500, 500, we're gonna go 5, we'll go 5, quarter here, half here. How about 5.5, bids, 5 1/4, 5.5, what do you say? How about 550, gonna go 50, 50, 550, outside. Yeah, 5 1/4, we'll put them on value number 4. Hey guys, hey, thanks for coming out tonight, appreciate it. Pay your bills, get your cars out of the yard, and we'll do this again next week, okay? And next week, everybody signs in, okay? Don't bid, unless you signed in, all right? Otherwise, I'll get here and shoot your decaf off. Nah, he doesn't want to do that, it's kind of messy. No.
Don't worry. We should live. Hey, no more the grass. No. For next week. This is the worst I've ever been. Really? Well, yeah. On the grass. Usually I go inside and I rest for like an hour and I drink water. Nothing. And then my sinuses kept draining and I kept sneezing. I'm really reacting this week.